These 8 grants are paying out money every 90 days. This is the perfect opportunity for you to fund your business. And what's great about this list is that I know for a fact that you can apply to at least one of these grants, as these are grants for international and US-based businesses, for-profit and nonprofit businesses. So no matter what type of business you have or where you're from, there is a grant for you. And so if you're new to grants, let me explain. Grants are debt-free money, which means that you don't have to pay the money back. You also don't have to pay interest on the money, which by far makes it one of the best ways to fund your business. And you can use this money to start a new business or grow an existing business. And the way that you can spend this money is by paying for marketing, branding, hiring new employees, buying new equipment, or invest in coaching. And so there's no reason why you cannot in 2026 make your business a reality. And so I will break down exactly what you need to know about these grants and some easy mistakes I've seen business owners do that cost them the grant application. And then I'll share with you 2 expert level prompts that'll make your grant application stand out. If you're ready to win a grant in 2026, I want to hear you say, "I'm ready" in the comment. Now let's get into it.
All right, so the first grant we have is the Spark Good Local Grant. This is a very good opportunity for nonprofits to get anywhere from $250 to $5,000 to grow their organization. Through this program, Walmart has awarded nonprofit organizations over $100,000, which truly does make a difference. And so what you do need to know about this grant is that they award the amount in cycles. And so the first cycle goes from February 1st to April 15th. The second cycle goes from May 1st to July 15th. And the third cycle goes from August 1st through the November 30th. And so you do want to intentionally plan when you are going to apply to this grant. And so in order to be eligible for this grant, you must be an organization that has a Spark Good account. This account is completely free to set up. After you get this account set up, you will need to be verified by Deed, which is Walmart's third-party verification service provider. And so the eligible entities that are able to actually apply for this grant include 501c3 public charities, a government entity or a non-501c3, a school, which is all K through 12 public or nonprofit private schools, charter schools, community junior colleges, or universities, as well as church and other faith-based organizations with a proposed project that benefits the community at large. And so if you don't meet the eligibility criteria for this specific grant, please share it with your community, as there's a church or nonprofit organization that would greatly benefit from you sharing this information. There are 3 key factors that Walmart cares about when they judge your application. And I would personally say, through my experience of reviewing thousands of grant applications, that other grant sponsors care about this as well. And so you want to make sure you first align your mission and vision with the grant sponsor. And so Walmart says you need to clearly demonstrate a need within your community. It's also important that your business builds trust. In order to do that, you do need to have a business that's in good standing, which means you have your proper documentation, you have all your necessary licenses, and your organization meets all state and government requirements. Lastly, it's very important that you communicate clearly how you plan on using the grant funds within your application. And so Walmart is awarding $500 to $5,000 to nonprofit organizations every 3 months. Before we go into the next grant, it's important that you know you do need a separate checking account. I personally recommend Bluevine as they're beginner friendly and they offer additional funding options. You can find more details on them in the description below. Next, we have the Innovate Grant, and this is a perfect grant for artists and photographers. And so as I was reading through this website, I was actually surprised by all the different businesses that fall within the artist and photographer category. And so the Innovate Grant is worth $1,800, and each quarter, 2 $1,800 grants will be given out, one for the artist and another for the photographer. Their grant cycles are open 4 times out of the year: winter, spring, summer, and fall, giving you more opportunities to access the support and funding that you need. And so their grant application is a very simple and straightforward process, as they just ask a few questions about you and the projects you're working on. And so what's required is your name, your email, your grant category, whether it's in art or photography, as well as images of your work, and the application fee. fee. And so with this grant, they do charge a $35 fee, but if you feel like you and your business are a perfect fit for this grant, I would personally recommend that you do apply, but it does cost to play. And as a business owner, it is important that we choose where we want to invest our funds. You should know that the Innovate Grant is a worldwide opportunity, which means anyone from anywhere across the world can apply to this grant. And so some categories that fall within art include painting, printmaking, drawing, sculpture, film and video, mixed media, installation, and new media. This includes creators. So if you make content for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you are eligible for this grant. And then we have photography. This includes portraits, conceptual, still life, black and white, documentary, street, composite, and collage. And so if you are an artist at heart, this is a great opportunity to win a $1,800 grant. And so I do recommend, if this grant is a good fit for you, that you check out some of the previous winners and you apply. And so the way that you would apply for this grant is you would go into the upper right-hand corner and hit the pink button that says apply. It'll then take you to the grant application, where it'll ask you to fill out some information about you as well as the work that you've done. And so it does ask for your Instagram username. If you don't have an Instagram, I would recommend that you set one up, because it's not just this grant, but many other grants ask for that information. And so this truly is a great opportunity to win a $1,800 grant for artists and photographers. Next, we have the Secret Sauce Grant. This is a $25,000 grant opportunity that's given out every 3 months. And you also have the opportunity to win $10,000 at the end of the year, but more on that later. And so Secret Sauce knows that every entrepreneur faces challenges, but not everyone has the financial backing to overcome them. Their grant is designed for business owners who are committed to evolving, leading with integrity, and inspiring change. Whether it's hiring new team members, overcoming financial hurdles, or implementing innovative strategies, their grant provides the push you need to make a significant positive impact. And so with this grant, you do have 4 chances to apply. Applications open on the first day of each quarter at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time and close on the last day of the quarter at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. In other words, the first quarter runs from January 1st to March 31st. The second quarter runs from April 1st to June 30th. The third quarter runs from July 1st to September 30th, and the fourth quarter ends December 31st. And so with this $2,500 grant, they want to focus on the entrepreneurs that often are overlooked by traditional investment sources, from those who are just starting out to those primed for explosive growth. Secret Sauce is here to offer accessible and substantial support. And so in order to apply to this grant, all you need to be is over the age of 21 and have an active business that is registered and operates within a state or territory of the United States. And so if that sounds like you, which it is most business owners, then you do have a great opportunity to apply. The one drawback that you should know about this grant, though, is that it does require a $15 application fee. But at the end of the day, if you align well with this grant sponsor, it is well worth applying. Next, we have the Northland Foundation Quarterly Grants. The Northland Foundation awards funding of $10,000 or more to nonprofit organizations and government entities working within their region. And so the eligible region includes Minnesota counties of Atkin, Carlton, Cook, Aska, Kuching, Lake, and St. Louis, as well as the following tribal nations. And so you do need to be a 501c3 nonprofit organization, a group using a physical sponsor with a 501c3 status, an educational institution, tribal nation, or local government agency. Typically, these grants are worth $10,000 or more. Next, we have the Brava Thrive Grant. This is $5,000 given to small business owners. In order to be eligible for this grant, there are 5 requirements that you need to meet. You first need to be a business that has demonstrated impact on their community, such as creating new jobs, innovating new products, or making products and services more accessible. Secondly, they do strongly prefer businesses operating for at least 1 year. Third, it is a must that your business had generated revenue prior to you applying to the grant. Fourth, they do prefer businesses directly impacting high-need zip codes. And lastly, your business must be formed under United States law and operating within the U.S. And so if you meet all 5 requirements, this truly is a great opportunity to get $5,000 for your business. Plus, it's completely free. It requires no money to apply to this grant. So once you've read over all the details and you're ready to apply, you can click the blue button that says apply now. It'll then take you straight to the grant application, where it'll take you about 7 minutes to complete. Next, we have the NASDAQ Economic Opportunity Grant Program. And this organization gives grants over $75,000 $75,000. I want you to just take a second and imagine what would receiving $75,000 do for your organization. That's the possibility that can happen with grants. And so these are the 4 key areas they want your organization to focus on. The first one is financial literacy, being able to empower individuals with the knowledge and skills necessary to make informed financial decisions, thus cultivating financially resilient communities. Secondly, access to capital, supplying financial resources that catalyze the growth of businesses and projects originating from revitalized regions. Third, investor identity, cultivating a new generation of investors equipped to shape the future financial markets. And lastly, employee and community ownership, enabling individuals to directly control assets and promote shared ownership to achieve fair distribution of wealth, resources, and economic opportunity. In addition, your organization must be designated as tax exempt. In other words, you will need to be a nonprofit organization with a 501(c)(3) tax status, which means that unfortunately for-profit companies aren't eligible for this grant. But if you are a nonprofit or you know a nonprofit, they can apply for this grant in 3 simple steps. They'll first need to read through the grant guidelines. They'll secondly submit an EOI or an expression of interest in applying to this grant, and you can submit this form through their Grants Connect portal. And then for step 3, after reviewing all the EOIs, the grant sponsor will then select applicants to be invited to submit a full grant proposal. And so although this grant opportunity takes more time and effort, you do have the chance of taking home $75,000. And so in my book, that means this opportunity is well worth it. Next, we have the NASC Growth Grant, and this is worth $4,000. And so the NASC stands for the National Association for the Self-Employed. Each quarter, or 90 days, they award $4,000 to a small business owner. In order to be eligible for this grant, you do need to be a member in good standing at the time of your application. And the membership does cost money, but you have some options. You can sign up as a monthly or annual member. The monthly membership will run you about $12 a month, whereas the annual plan will run you about $120. But if you're a veteran, you can get a $20 discount. In addition, it looks like they offer a gold membership, which includes $20,000 in term life insurance and $5,000 in critical illness insurance. This grant is great for business owners across all different types of industries, as well as all different types of backgrounds. But you do have to be a member in order to apply. Next, we have the Out of Excuses Grant. And so this is a great opportunity to win $3,000 for your business, and you have the chance of winning an additional $10,000, which they give out every single year. And so the Out of Excuses Grant Initiative is here to empower small business owners to step off the hustle bus and move closer to achieving sweatless victories. And so that's what the funding and mentorship should help you do. Their mission is to provide financial support to aspiring and established small business owners, as well as nonprofit organizations who need that extra push to start, structure, brand, scale, or fund their dreams. And so they believe in turning obstacles into opportunities and helping entrepreneurs achieve success without burning out. And the reason why I tell you about their background and their mission is because it's very important that you include that in your grant application. And so once you're ready to apply, you're going to hit the orange button that says apply. It's then going to take you to the grant application. You do need to know that with this grant, there is a $15 fee, but if it aligns with you and your business, it's well worth it. And to have the best chance when it comes to applying to these grants, let me walk you through 2 amazing ChatGPT prompts. The first prompt that will elevate your grant application focuses on training AI to be your grant judge. And so you're going to say, you are an experienced grant reviewer, business evaluator, and storytelling strategist with over 10 years of experience reviewing short-form founder narratives for competitive grants, accelerators, and funding programs. Review my written response to the following questions. This is where you can enter the specific question in your grant application. Then you're going to say, evaluate the response for clarity, emotional impact, differentiation, and funding readiness within the strict 100-word constraint. Provide actionable, line-by-line feedback on how to improve the response, including what language should be tightened, removed, or replaced to increase clarity and power. Identify whether the business description is concrete enough, whether the unstoppable quality is demonstrated through action and results rather than vague traits, and whether the response clearly communicates momentum, resilience, and executive ability. Call out any generic phrasing, buzzwords, or missed opportunities to show credibility, personal conviction, or real-world impact. Then suggest specific improvements such as stronger verbs, clearer outcomes, or a sharper closing line that leaves the reviewer confident in both the business and the founder. If relevant, recommend a revised structure that balances what the business does, why it matters, and what proves the founder won't quit, all while staying under 100 words. The feedback should be practical, direct, and optimized for a high-stakes grant decision where differentiation and confidence matter. And so you can use this same prompt for any grant application that you have. Next, we have the video reviewer prompt. And so now you can upload your pitch videos into LLM models like ChatGPT and Gemini. You're going to say you are a grant reviewer expert with 10 plus years of experience evaluating competitive grant applications. Funder pitch videos and nonprofit funding submissions. Review the attached 1-minute grant application video as if you were a grant reviewer responsible for scoring clarity, impact, and funding readiness. Analyze the video across the following dimensions: clarity of the business or project purpose, strength of the problem being solved, explanation of how grant funds will be used, authenticity and confidence of the speaker, emotional connection, structure, and pacing within the 60-second limit, and overall persuasiveness. And so with AI, it can act as your very own grant coach that will help your application stand out so that you have an easier chance of taking home the grant funds. And if you want full access to these prompts, you can find them inside the Grant House.
You're doing a great job of taking notes, and you're this close to finding a grant that can change your whole life. So stay focused. There is nothing you can't do, and there are grants dedicated to making your dreams a reality. If you have any questions or need support from me, I do offer mentorship and one-on-one coaching, which you can find out more in the description below. I cannot wait to see you next time, and make sure to watch the video right here so you can have a home for the grant money you're gonna win.